What's up, everyone? So if you're planning to drive either to or from Alaska into the lower 48, or from the lower 48, I just wanted to make some notes and things for things that helped me and my family on this PCS from Bear, Alaska, which is in Anchorage, to now we're in Fort Moore, Georgia, which is in Columbus, Georgia, but we were visiting family in Florida before coming here, before our house was ready. So I'll run a little video real quick on what was in the decked system, but we basically, before leaving Alaska, we packed a bunch of snacks and things, and I completely underestimated how much room we would take up with snacks. The goal was to continue driving and not have to stop for lunches. We have a 7 and a 3-year-old, so stopping for lunches every day would have just added probably like an hour to every day's worth of trip. When you factor in for like the lunch, stopping to go potty after lunch and things like that. So we were trying to honestly keep it like super minimal for lunches, and I think the best thing we did was we bought 2 boxes of Uncrustables, and every morning when we would get into the car and start driving after the hotel, we would just put 2 or 3, if I was eating one, Uncrustables onto the dash, and they would just kind of like thaw out. And around 10:30, 11 o'clock, when like the boys were starting to really get hungry and ask for just snack after snack, we'd have an Uncrustable, and that worked great for about 5-6 days, until literally they were not having they were done with peanut butter jellies. We've been done with our drive for almost 3 weeks now, and they're still not really craving peanut butter jellies for lunches and stuff, so can't blame them for that. But it was super convenient, and it made it where we didn't have to like plan our route for like a McDonald's or some random garbage fast food joint in the middle of our day in some rural part of Canada, and the peanut butters and jellies just pre-made were great. First thing we're going to do is we'll just talk about how the truck drove overall, and then look at any problems we have. So here we got the Stallion. We've made some updates, I guess, if you want to call them that. Since we've been in Georgia, we got WeatherTech visors installed, and then got some ceramic tinting because it is hot and sunny down here. The truck's still looking great. Rust minimal, killing the game. The same issues that we were kind of watching. All the modifications and updates we did before leaving have held up great. No torn boots on the CV arms. We're not spewing grease anywhere. These bellows are still have a slight leak on the inside. That's probably going to be my next update. The newly installed power steering hoses, which were not OEM, have functioned properly. No leaks there. And here's the other bellow. You can see this side's a little bit worse than the side I'm on. But yeah, everything performed great. I'm trying to think of parts. We greased the drive shaft. I've been really debating getting some long tubes from Keith. So if you have like the JBA long heads or long tube headers, let me know how you like them, because I kind of want to do that and just replace. I feel like the worst part of my truck is the muffler and the cats and everything, which is probably normal, but just tired of looking at this ugly little thing. So I've been debating just getting a new exhaust system.
Yeah, so overall, the truck really performed awesome. There's nothing worth noting on the vehicle. My alignment looked great. The tire wear looked great when I rotated the tires. The drive shaft's not loose at all. I re-greased this as we got to Georgia, so all of the Zerks have been re-greased. the only two things, like I said, is the long tube headers to get and a completely new muffler, and then maybe like replacing the leaf springs because they're just 20 years old and old. So if you got a nice like HD Devers or something like that leaf spring, throw me a comment on how you like it so that maybe I can make a video on replacing the leaf springs and things like that. But there's really not much to talk about on the vehicle from this point. I'm going to keep replacing like rusty nuts and bolts and things that I find along the way, and then hopefully get a new steel bumper on the rear, maybe a hidden winch on the front, and whenever these tires get bad, I'm going to probably upgrade to some 17-inch rims and do a big brake upgrade. So it's kind of like the way forward that I'll be moving, and yeah.
All right, so the drive overall, some things that I would take into account. I added my credit card and debit card and stuff to my Apple Wallet, which conveniently worked out because sometime during the first day of our trip I lost my credit card. We had enough cash to cover the entire trip, but earns a lot of miles on the drive. So if you have like a rewards credit card or something that you can responsibly pay off, like charge your credit card and then pay it off every statement so you don't carry over debt. That's what we did. We used my Alaska Airlines credit card, and we probably got we used it on all the hotels, and anytime there was a gas pump that I could do the cell phone tap to pay, I used it there. There was a handful that I had to use my debit card for because I just didn't have a physical card. So just food for thought, I would have everything added as just like a redundancy measure. Just have your card in your phone and then have your cards obviously on you. And then that's pretty much what we did. We didn't have any issues with lock cards. We didn't have any issues with anything getting frozen, which has occurred both times I've driven through Canada, and actually putting my card into a gas station. Before I'd get out of Canada, my accounts were locked, and I would have to, the first phone call in Alaska or the first phone call in Montana, I was having to call my bank account or call my credit card company and have them unlocking it, saying that I was in fact doing all the charges. All right, so there's that. That's just kind of the gas situation and drive overall. Overall, the drive went great. The kids were awesome. We had a wall up, which I'll put a little video in, which you'll see the wall. It was like a $1 piece of, I don't know what it's even called, like the trifold construction board that kids would use in like a school project. We put that up, and it was honestly probably like the most inexpensive and best purchase that we did in terms of managing the back seat. The kids were able to put stickers. We bought them a shitload of stickers on Amazon, and they were able to decorate their side that they could see before the drive. So that was a little art project that they did, and it made kind of personalized the wall instead of just being a wall of terror. And then yeah, that was what we did on the inside. And then yeah, we'll go to what I packed in the deck. And we packed a lot of snacks. Honestly, we were eating the same snacks. We still have snacks left over. So there's a video for that. I'll probably play it. But we had just a bunch of Doritos, a bunch of white cheddar popcorn, and we went to the Costco business, which was newly opened right outside J-Bear, and we just kind of stocked up, and every couple days we would get to the next hotel and we would just restock the little carry-on snack bag, if you will. That was all the snacks, which were great. And the biggest thing we also did was, before leaving Alaska, we bought a bunch of Uncrustables, the little peanut butter jelly pre-made Uncrustables, and we froze them all. And we had a little Yeti hopper that we carried in the back seat, and we would just fill it up with ice at every hotel, and then we'd refreeze every day those Uncrustables that we wouldn't use. So that constantly, that lasted almost like an entire week. Honestly, the kids got tired of peanut butter jellies for lunch before we actually ran out of them. All right, so gas cost. The cost of gas, I actually expected it to be way worse. This is all converted from Canadian dollars to American. If you're PCSing, make sure you save every single receipt, and then you'll have to do the conversion and stuff. You don't get refunded for gas per se, but you can essentially use the gas expenses as a way to lower your tax bracket. So it's not like an instant refund, but it kind of like, if you're kind of teeter-tottering on two different tax brackets, you could get your overall annual income reduced by a certain amount. So from J-Bear through Canada all the way to Montana, it was $602 in gas. From Montana to Florida, we spent $661, and the total roll-up of gas costs from start to finish was $1,263.52. Keep in mind, like, I'm driving a 2006 Toyota Tundra that gets roughly 15 miles to gallon, and I was 20 to 50 pounds below the payload threshold. Okay, so good thought. Here, I'll put up the little thing of the hotel tracker. These are all the they're the best aside from Cheyenne. Don't pay attention to that Cheyenne one. That was yours truly right here, scheduling that one, and there was no due diligence that went into it. I just booked a pet-friendly hotel, and I would not stay there again. But if you're PCSing to or from Alaska, here's a list of hotels and kind of what they cost us, ballpark, and then I tried to stay on top of it, adding pet fees and things like that, but this is what they cost us for our trip. We had 2 labs and stayed in all these hotels with no issues whatsoever. The only 2 hotels that I like, all of the hotels were whatever. They're hotels, they're pet friendly. The Best Western Hotel in Montana, the first room we stayed in, my wife is allergic to cats, and obviously we have some risks associated with pet friendly hotels, and this is the only one that we had trouble with. The first room, we basically just walked through the door, the threshold of the door, and my wife instantly was like, I don't think I can do this. Her like throat started itching, eyes started itching, she like started getting like puffy eyes. I went to the hotel front desk, asked them if we could switch rooms, told them the situation. We hadn't unpacked or done anything, and they were super quick. They gave me a new card to a different room on like the 3rd floor. They were like, we usually don't put pets on the 3rd floor, so the odds of like a cat being in there are low. They gave us like a card. My wife went up there, walked in, did like a 5 minutes just walking around the room. It was way better. So we moved ourselves and the dogs, and then we unloaded the car into that 3rd floor pet room. So that was the Best Western Riverfront, I believe. It was great. That room was huge. So 3rd floor, riverfront side, huge room. We had like a kitchenette, 2 beds, and a little balcony. So that was a cool one. The other hotel that was awesome, Red Deer was awesome, but that was more so like, I don't know if I would stay there on the way up to Alaska, but on the way down, it's definitely like I would stay there multiple days. You have Discovery Canyon, so make sure you bring like swim trunks and things like that. Then you have like a water slide inside the hotel, which was great for the kids. Like I said, coming down from Alaska, that was kind of like the tail end, and it was like, we're definitely gonna make it out of Canada with no problems. So it was kind of like nice to just stay there, unwind and chill. There was also a Costco less than a mile away from the hotel, so if you need more snacks, we didn't, but if you need more snacks, you can go there and get more snacks. Muncho Lake, that's up there. It was the Rockies, the Northern Lodge Rockies or something like that. I don't know, it'll be on this spreadsheet that I have showing here. I would stay here multiple days. That was that was great. The only bad thing that was here was they only had one washer and dryer for the entire hotel. So it's kind of like, just make sure you have laundry done and don't bank on doing laundry at this location, because I mean, it's definitely doable. You have to get coins at the front desk, and then it's kind of a process in order to get the stuff that works for the hotel. So, but I was at the front desk about to ask for coins, and I heard her tell another person that they only have one washer and one dryer for all of the guests on site, and then Caribou cabins. So if this is not your first PCS, then you definitely know. But TLA on most bases kind of sucks. It's like thin walls, cheap housing, and it's not really like there's no part of me after like PCSing 5 times that would want to rush to a duty station and stay in TLA for a month at a time, or 2 weeks, or whatever it may be. Even coming here to Fort Moore, Georgia, we're in like a standalone house and it's great, everything's peachy, but we chose to stay in an Airbnb in Navarre, Florida for an extra week because they told us our house still wasn't ready and available for us. And we basically like had to choose between paying $120 a night for like a hotel close to the beach where we could like do things, or hurry up and come to Columbus, Georgia and stay at Abrams Hall. Oh, but wait, we have pets, so we can't stay at Abrams Hall. The only other one we could stay at was the one right across from like the Burger King and Zaxby's, which is next to Abrams Hall, but it's like the pet friendly IHG hotel, and it's not nice. So if you've PCS multiple times, all I'm saying is like TLA varies, and Caribou cabins, if you're coming to Alaska, which I've been to Alaska twice now, if I had to choose between staying on TLA, like the Air Force Lodge on J-Bear, or staying at Caribou cabins for an extra 3 days, I would. But yeah, overall, the trip went great.